Ciao ragazzi, thanks for tuning into my guitar channel. Today I'm going to bring you something slightly different. As some of you may know, I have a guitar podcast called Guitar Conversations, and just before New Year's I shot an interview with Milos Karadaglic, who's made some waves in the classical guitar world, but he plays a lot of Latin guitar as well. His first two albums really features a lot of Spanish and South American pieces, and also concerto aranjuez. So what I thought I'd do is bring you just an excerpt from my interview with him, which is about 5-6 minutes long. And if you want to listen to the rest of the conversation, you can go to guitarconversations.com, or it's also on iTunes. And it's an audio podcast, but I did record this on Zoom, so I thought I'd bring you a little bit of the interview on Zoom of myself and Milos talking about concerto aranjuez and a few other things. Just something a bit fun to start the year with and to keep you motivated, and also just to give you some thoughts around how professional guitarists think and what they do. For some of you, I know guitar is more of a hobby and you're trying to work on some of your different techniques, but it's also really great to listen to guitar stories and also the mindset and how guitarists approach playing something as difficult as Concerto Aranjuez by Rodrigo. But all guitarists start somewhere, and Milos started in Montenegro, then he went to study in London, and from there he managed to sort of gather a following and get the interest of Deutsche Grammophon. And my full interview, I talked with him about that process, which was really fascinating for me because I'm a professional guitarist, and I'm always interested in finding out how guitarists make their way in the world. It's a niche instrument, but so many people love the Spanish, Latin and classical guitar. You know, the nylon sound is so romantic and really captivates a lot of people. And Deutsche Grammophon obviously decided that there was room for someone like that to spearhead that market. And Milos has done a really great job over the last 10 years. And so have many other guitarists. In fact, I've got about 42 interviews on Guitar Conversations, and they do include some really amazing guitarists, including like John Williams and Manuel Barroeco. Tommy Emmanuel came on the interview as well. So I'd be interested to hear what your thoughts are on Milos's on this interview. I'm posting 1 to 2 videos a week, and my focus this year is really guitar knowledge, guitar insights, techniques and arrangements. And this short interview segment falls under the category of guitar knowledge, which is, I think, something we all need more of. Hope you enjoy it, and I'll catch you next episode. I just wanted to talk to you about your Aranjuez recording, because it's such, and this came, I think, a few CDs into you went through an amount of repertoire, and then I think the decision came.
I think it was the third album. Yeah, because I felt it was ready. I was ready for it.
You were ready. And what were your challenges in learning that and performing that and recording it? It just seems like you've said often in interviews, it's every guitarist's dreams to play that concerto. What were your challenges, and how did you find the experience? Because you've obviously performed it a lot in subsequent years. Are you super comfortable with it now when it comes to playing it? I know you were recording and working on other concertos, but being that it's such a popular concerto, I wanted to know about your experiences with it. And do you still find it a challenge?
Yeah, I mean, it's a very beautiful piece, and it's very much in our DNA to play it because it's such an iconic work. But I don't think it's a piece that ever becomes comfortable, just because it's not written very comfortably. And as every guitarist knows that there is not one single Rodrigo piece that is actually very comfortable.
Yeah.
Because he wrote it all on the piano, and while it sounds like guitar, very idiomatic and very guitaristic, technically it's never very, very comfortable. And in all the solo pieces like Invocation and Dance, for example, or the Tres Piezas Españolas and all that, you have to do so many adjustments often in the voicings and all that in order to make it really properly playable, and even then it's always on the edge.
Yeah.
Do
you make some of your own voicing decisions around it, sort of a little bit of tweaking as needed? Or
I mean, the one thing that I find most important is that you never break a line. And I just for me, I don't play a piece unless I can do that. I sometimes drop a piece if just one phrase cannot align, and so often you can get into troubles with very well-known pieces that are so well known on the guitar, but some of them just don't work. And I think if it's a transcription or even an original piece, if all the lines don't align, then there is a break, and then the chain is broken. And for me, that doesn't work. But with the Aranjuez itself, I feel that every time I play it, it's like I have to start again, because every time you find something else, every time you play it, your technique is in a different place. But when I was doing the recording, that's when I really felt ready, and I felt that I sort of planned that moment perfectly, because I love that recording. I think it worked really well, and I loved it because I felt that the stars aligned for it, because I worked exactly with the conductor that I thought was perfect for it, with the orchestra. That was my first experience playing with an orchestra, the London Philharmonic, in the best studio with best producers. It was like the sound was right. I remember I was sitting higher on the sound box while the orchestra was around, and Yannick was just across, and we were making music. And even though it was completely acoustic inside the recording studio, we were in Abbey Road, and the acoustic is incredible there.
That must be incredible.
It was really great. And then Yannick, he's one of those conductors that just gives you this extraordinary energy, and I felt like there was nothing I couldn't do, and that's why I love that the tempos are so fierce, and that everything is so direct and strong, and just polished and really together. I felt that was a perfect moment, but then at the same time, I set the bar so high for myself with that recording. And we all know that when you are playing a concerto live, it's a very different experience, and that every time conductor is different, and that lots of conductors are scared of this piece. They are scared of playing with guitar. Orchestra is not always very inspired by playing a guitar concerto, because half of them go on a coffee break.
That's right.
And there's lots of challenges, but ultimately the audience always loves it. And I've played it now with literally everyone, like all the major orchestras in America and Europe, and it's
amazing.
It's been amazing. But at the same time, I felt like, okay, this is great, but now I really need new pieces, and that's what I've been working on. And I actually just finished recording those 2 new concertos, which is very exciting.
So there's my brief segment of the interview with Milos. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, we'd love it if you subscribed and comment. Let me know what your thoughts are, and if there's someone else that maybe you'd like me to catch up with on Zoom and share an interview with. So I'm going to go and practice now, because I've got a gig tomorrow night with my Latin trio. If you're in Melbourne, come along tomorrow night at Paris Cat. If I don't see you then, I'll see you next video. Thanks, guys.